Thanks very much for staying with us. Time now for Eye on Africa with me, Georgia Calvin-Smith. Tonight, don't ever send them back to school. There's celebration and heartache in the town of Dapchi. 104 of the 110 Nigerian girls abducted last month are returned by Boko Haram extremists, who also chillingly warn parents against educating their children. Also, Kenya's opposition considers legal action over the ruling party's use of a UK consultancy firm in last year's election. Cambridge Analytica bosses were caught on camera boasting of the control that they exerted over President Uhuru Kenyatta's re-election. And as the creme de la creme of the culinary world descends on the French capital for the Goût de France, we meet one South African chef taking part, Wandile Mabaso. But first, 104 out of 110 schoolgirls abducted by Boko Haram extremists last month have been returned. Dozens of the girls were dropped off overnight in the centre of Dapchi. Militants reportedly warned frightened locals not to ever send their children back to school. The government said it didn't pay a ransom or agree to a prisoner swap in exchange for the pupils' freedom. Abuja insists they were unconditionally released. Jihadists are reportedly trying to convert one of the girls left behind.
One of the girls wasn't freed because she's Christian. She was held back. We were freed because we are Muslim girls, and they didn't want us to suffer. That is why they released us, because we are Muslims. They didn't trouble us.
Well, Sam Olokoya tells us more. Sam, a return that's brought a lot of joy but also heartache. There's some confusion as to what's happened to the 6 girls who didn't come back. What's the government saying?
The government's position on this is that they are profiling the girls, and once they profile girls, they give the figures of girls they've profiled so far. And so far we have 104 children. But there's a position from some of the captive girls that actually 5 of the other girls have died in custody, and then one other is being held, who's a Christian, is being held to be converted to Islam.
The retrieval of some of the Chibok girls was a long and arduous process. Why do you think that the majority of the Dapchi pupils were returned with such relative speed? What were these back-channel negotiations the government's talking about?
The circumstances under which the girls from both schools are held are quite different. The Chibok girls were held by a faction of the Boko Haram, whereas the girls from Dapchi were held by another faction in Boko Haram. What the government means by, the way the girls were released had to do with its position that it would rather negotiate rather than take into action to enforce their release.
Thanks very much. Sam Olokoya there for us in Lagos. 44 of the African Union's 55 member states have signed up to the largest free trade agreement since the creation of the World Trade Organization. The pact, signed in Kigali on Wednesday, will create a continent-wide market worth more than $3.4 trillion in a bid to get rid of tariffs within 18 months and boost intra-African trade. But Africa's 2 biggest economies haven't put pen to paper. Nigeria skipped the summit. South Africa says it will sign, but later. States still have to ratify the pact, but backers of the African Continental Free Trade Area say that it is crucial to the continent's future.
What is at stake is the dignity and well-being of Africa's farmers, workers, and entrepreneurs, particularly women and youth. The promise of free trade and free movement is prosperity for all Africans, because we are prioritizing the production of value-added goods and services that are made in Africa.
Kenya's opposition is considering legal action over the ruling party's use of a UK consultancy firm in last year's election. The bosses of Cambridge Analytica were caught on camera boasting of the control that they'd exerted over President Uhuru Kenyatta's re-election. Nicholas Shamar tells us more.
An apocalyptic video denouncing the dangers of opposition candidate Raila Odinga during last year's election in Kenya. This one was done by Harris Media, a US firm also used by Donald Trump. In public, Cambridge Analytica, the company at the heart of the current election manipulation scandal involving Facebook, denies any links to the video. But when they were secretly filmed by Channel 4 News, its directors boasted that they had managed President Kenyatta's whole campaign.
The Kenyatta campaign, which we ran in 2013 and 2017, we have rebranded the entire party twice, written their manifesto, done 2 rounds of 50,000 surveys.
Huge amounts of research, analysis, messaging.
And then we'd write all the speeches and we'd stage the whole thing. So just about every element of his campaign.
After this video was released, Cambridge Analytica said it had just been humouring the undercover reporters. Kenyan observers said there had never been so much fake news and use of social media as during the 2017 disputed presidential election.
Now, using hacking methods, which need highly skilled people, duplication of mainstream media information, in using imagery, this is highly skilled. This is total departure from that very mundane effort which was being done in the previous.
Kenya's opposition said it was now seeing whether legal action was possible. Cambridge Analytica is already being questioned by US authorities. A whistleblower has indeed revealed it harvested the private information of millions of people to support Donald Trump's presidential bid.
Aid workers have warned of the risk of a humanitarian crisis in the town of Moyale. It's on the border between Ethiopia and Kenya, and over 8,000 Ethiopians have crossed over following the killing of 9 civilians by the military earlier this month. Ethiopian state media said that soldiers mistook victims for members of the banned Oromo Liberation Front who were trying to sneak into the country. Witnesses say that they were deliberately attacked. Well, the crème de la crème of the culinary world is descending on the French capital for Good de France, or Good France. The event may celebrate French gastronomy, but one of the chefs taking part is South Africa's Wandile Mabaso. Earlier, our reporters went to meet him at his home in Johannesburg.
Wandile Mabaso is not just any chef. Born in Soweto, he travelled the world for 10 years, driven by his passion cooking. He is talented and has also been lucky.
I never thought I could, experience this, because it's something that was not planned. I never thought I'd go, but when I was in New York, I got the opportunity, and I got the opportunity at a later stage in my career to go to France. And so it was a pleasant surprise and a very good experience as well.
He was working in a French restaurant in New York when celebrity chef Alain Ducasse noticed his potential and offered him a job in his best outlets. Today, Chef Wandile wants to pass on the cooking techniques he masters.
See how it turns more green.
2 of his protégés have received bursaries to be trained in Hotel Le Maurice, where he learned his skills.
It's an excellent opportunity. It's one of a kind. Not everybody gets this opportunity.
Work is hard during the day to prepare for the evening's customers, but as they arrive, they are immediately called to the kitchen. This is an interactive restaurant.
Okay, so we're going to start with the meat. I'm going to demonstrate now how we're going to do it, and then you're going to do it by yourselves. Okay? Whoa.
The customers are trying to cook to perfection their lamb medallions.
Okay, if this is too rare for you, we're gonna put it in the oven. It's not the end of the world. But for me, this is the right way to eat it. In French, they call it rosé.
People are pleased with the experience, and Chef Wandile is building a name.
I say yay today, because I'm a black person. And for a person of color to be representing in Paris, it's quite a phenomenal achievement.
The evening often ends with a photo shoot, pictures of the dishes that customers have meticulously cooked and will thoroughly enjoy.
I love it.
Well, that's it for Eye on Africa. Thanks very much for joining us. Do so again if you can. Take care.
Sur France 24, la nuit, on est très fiers d'accompagner les Amériques dans leurs soirées, de voir l'Asie se réveiller, et on est là jusqu'à ce que Paris s'éveille.
France 24 es más que solo noticias. Es libertad, igualdad y actualidad. Nosotros damos un paso más allá, con información al momento para analizar, comprender, poner en perspectiva y debatir.
Sur France 24, l'Afrique c'est chic.
In Live from Paris, our correspondents around the world keep you up to date.
Vous êtes déjà plusieurs millions et de plus en plus nombreux à suivre France 24 sur les réseaux sociaux.
من الطبيعي أن يكون شعارها الحرية وخاصة حرية التعبير في بلد حرية التعبير.